Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Lois and welcome back to Stoneblock. In the last episode, we started working towards, Supremium, to be honest. We started working towards getting a lot of essence so that we could make a suit of armor, the Supremium Armor, and use this to get creative mode flight so that we can go to the end and get some shulker shells so we can improve our filter. I've been doing a lot of work separating things out. We have a lot of junk, but between episodes, I've been really busy. I have 48 blocks of prosperity shards. I have 33 chicken chunks and a very weakened Solarium Dagger, and I almost have enough Supremium to do everything. I did get another Nether Star from our little system here, which is working perfectly. And so we have a lot of work to do, but we're almost there. We're not quite there. I also have a bunch of Enderman chunks and experience chunks, and even a couple of zombie chunks, which I get whenever a zombie pigman wants to spawn through. But we're going to do a couple of things just to kind of partially kill time, if I'm going to be honest. But also just kind of maintenance things. I've taken a break from dealing with chickens right now, just because I'm trying to get all the eggs. And you might notice, yeah, this is pretty empty, but these two are completely full of eggs. And I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with them. But as you can see, I have most of the dye chickens done. I'm probably going to focus on these and the natural chickens next, but there's a lot of chickens here, and we're starting to get a lot of things. All of the special ones are done, so eventually what I'll probably end up doing is getting rid of the signs, but probably not until I finish up all the chickens. But yeah, so we have a lot of things to do still. So we could go ahead and make a couple more of the seeds. And we might do that a little bit later. But what I want to focus on first is the Solarium Dagger. This thing is kind of awesome. It has looting 3. I use it to kill the chickens now. And I also use it to kill the evolved Endermen that spawn every once in a while. But as you see, it's almost broken. We need to do something about that. And well, what we're going to do is get mending. In order to get mending, we need an experience rod and some levels. And an experience rod is actually really cheap, so that's what we're going to go with. We're going to need 2 soul sand, and we're going to need a little bit of gold. Now, I apologize because I might be a little bit sick. I'm going to try to get through this episode without coughing or anything, but if my voice sounds weird, I have a little bit of a sinus congestion type stuff. Nothing major. It happens to me quite often, so just saying that. I'm probably going to take more breaks to take quick drinks. So, yeah. Anyways, once we get the solarium, which that'll take a few seconds, while that is cooking, let's actually work on some other things. So something I want to do, let's go ahead and get the last Supremium Armor core, which we can go ahead. Did I not grab the... Okay, I didn't grab the Nether Star. Fair enough. So let's get that taken care of, and then we can get rid of that. And now we are going to need 20 ingots of Supremium. Now, this is a little bit of an issue, because we don't have all the Supremium that we need, but there is the base essence ingots. Infernium is first. Oh, right, it's just 2. Balance grid. There is the Infernium. Prudentium is next. And then we can continue going up Intermedium. And then Superium. But we don't have enough for Supremium quite yet. Now, something else that I kind of neglected to think about, to be perfectly honest, we are going to need some sort of weaponry for taking on the dragon. Because that is something that we are going to have to do. And yeah, that's something that we're going to have to deal with. Now, how we're going to do that, I don't know. Usually I would... by the way, I also cleaned up all of the chests that were lying around. And I have this system here, the bag opener, just to make things a little bit easier. I've been trying to get storage upgrades, something I've been slowly doing, and I think I've only done it for one so far. Yeah, so the uncommon loot bag, if we take a look in its storage, oops, wrong thing, it is all of the emerald upgrades and then a void upgrade. I'm going to try to do that for all of this stuff, because why not? And it'll be good to do. So let's get our 21 levels. We're going to enchant a book and quill to get mending, and then we're going to get probably a few more levels, and we're going to put mending on our Solarium Dagger. Awesome. Now to repair it, we just throw it in here, and it will use a bunch of the liquid experience to repair it fully. And the experience, we can just grab a ton of that and just throw it in there, and that will slowly over time kind of do its thing, and it'll fill up, and we have so much of the solidified experience, like so much of it. We have 253 stacks. We have a little bit of it so that we don't have to worry about that anymore. But yeah, so in our chest there is a bunch of like smite swords and that kind of stuff. I haven't really done anything with that. Eventually, like I said, we are going to need to make some new weaponry. But for the most part, like, just kind of doing what we've been doing. I do need to decide what I want to do about the dragon, the Ender Dragon. We could always just use our sword. That would probably work pretty well. But there are other options if we so need them. So, while we are kind of hanging out, there is something I want to do, and that is I want to make a spawner seeker. Now, spawner seekers are interesting things. We need some stone. I think just normal stone. I don't know if cobblestone will work. Can we get a chisel? I don't know if this still works. It used to. I don't think it does anymore. We could make mossy stone bricks. Nope. That does not convert to anything else. Okay, so we need moss stone. Moss stone is vines or nature essence and stone essence. Now, we might have that. We have all our crafting seeds. I haven't really done anything with that yet. But yeah, so I've been just kind of going up here and killing Enderman with the Solarium Dagger. It takes a little bit, but it's not that scary. They don't do that much damage. We didn't get any chunks, but something to kind of note. We can make the different chunks if we have the appropriate tier. The only thing that requires a tier 1 is the zombie chunk. Tier 2s can be upgraded to tier 3s, and so on. We're getting a lot of tier 5s from... no, are we not getting tier 5s? We're getting tier 4s from Enderman. So I can use that to turn into other things. And then tier 5s, the only one is Wither Skeleton, and there is no use for the tier 6 mob chunk. So no concern about that. Okay, so some of these are not growing fully. And I think a lot of it is because of light levels. I'm probably going to have to do something about that. We can get some of stone and some of the nature. We should have more of the stone. And that should allow us to make the mossy cobblestone that we need. 16 of it, in fact. Cool. So, yeah. With that, what we can do is make a spawner locator. So let's dump one, put these where they go, and let's dump everything else. So spawner seeker. Now, if we use it here, there is no spawners. I don't know if there's any range upgrades or anything like that. But I didn't expect there to be a spawner in this dimension. So let's go to the mining dimension. Now, of course, the Nether is going to have spawners pretty much everywhere. Blaze spawners are really common, and I've spent a lot of time, in case you didn't notice, from all of the like, whatchamacallits, all of the prosperity shards. I've spent some time in the Nether looking for things, but no spawners in range. So let's go downstairs and see if we. I don't know that there is any upgrades to this, but basically we just use this a bunch, and maybe at some point we'll find some spawners. I would like to find a normal spawner. That would be nice. I'd like to find a normal dungeon, because if we can get a normal spawner, we can potentially farm mob chunks a little bit easier. But yeah, it makes this like Ender Pearl-esque thing. Also makes a really weird noise. But yeah, there is gonna be a lot of issues finding spawners, to be perfectly honest. And I think they'll spawn in this dimension. I don't know if that is a config file thing that you can change or not, but I'm gonna use this to kind of find that out. Now, something of note, I found something. Oh hey, we have a spawner. It's in this direction. Okay. So that answers that question. Let's get our flux bore out. And it's that way. Okay, so it seems like it's potentially underneath our sand farm. Kind of more this way now. Okay. We might want to go up as well. But I don't know. Let's take a look at the map. There is a hole over this direction that might be something. Let's just go this way a little bit and see what we can see. I don't even know what half the stuff dropping is. Okay, so what is this? Crushed dark gem. Why is it purple? Never really messed with Evil Craft, to be honest. So I don't know much about it. Okay, so it's like up. So let's just kind of go this general direction. And if I can find it, then once we find the spawner, it'll be a lot easier to kind of do anything with it. It's kind of this way. There's gold. And I'm going to try to keep things lit up well enough so you guys can see as well. I have a funny feeling this isn't a spawner that I want to mess with. This might not be a dungeon. This might be a... where is it? It's like directly above me. Okay. Yeah, I have a feeling this is a bad thing. Not... Yep, it's a bad thing. Don't want... Okay, but hey, at least it works. There are spawners in this world. There are also, that means, we are going to have structures spawning. So that tells me that we can actually have... There's also more mobs over there, but that's basically telling me that, hey, there is things out there. There is mob spawners, so we are going to be able to do things like you know, if we want to capture a mob spawner and use it with Draconic Evolution, for example, we can. That is 100% possible. But I wanted to show you guys something. I saw on the map this like room that was grassy and red, and so I dug to it, and yeah, it was a little bit interesting. It's a room. Now these are not uncommon, these like grassy areas, but it has some destabilized redstone in it, and that was interesting. Anyways, so with that taken care of, and with that kind of seen, let's go ahead and get out of the mining dimension and get back home so that we can potentially make the Supremium Armor and then think about potentially going to the end. There are a couple ways to get to the end. We could make a portal. That might be the best like long-term situation, because the other ways usually are they get used up. We'll put it that way. So basically, one of the ways I know, I think is in this mod pack, is a cake that you eat and you get teleported to the end. Well, eventually you'll eat all the cake unless you continuously refill it. So that's not really the most ideal. There is the problem that we can place down the end portals if we so choose. I'm gonna stick this in here. Might use that a little bit more. We are getting a lot of things from chickens, so I don't know if it's 100% needed, but we'll see. So we have 3 stacks and a little. That might be enough. We only need, what, 5 more? That's not nearly enough. So yeah, let's talk about weaponry. So if we want to fight the end dragon, we could use, I guess we don't have Tinker's lasers in this. We could use a bow. There is a bunch of different bows, including the Draconic Evolution bows. We have Botania bows. Extra Utilities Compound Bow. I've never even heard of that one. I've never used that one. Then there's the Supremium Bow. Some of these are really good, or you can make crossbows / actual bows from Tinker's, which are usually pretty good. Not entirely sure which path we are going to go, because I'm not entirely sure what's going to be the best option for us. I don't think we're going to actually use the bows. So let's look in the quest book. And I want to see the end. So use the items required in this quest to make a portal to the end. Google artificial end portal. Okay. Pro tip. So evil tier. How can we get an evil tier? Oh, that's really easy. Can we make that? Okay. That makes an eclipse clock. Hold up. Hold up. Are you telling me we could have had time in a bottle this entire time? Oh, boy. So I wasn't aware this was in the mod pack. Apologies, because this thing is stupidly powerful. Like, it's ridiculously powerful, and we're gonna make it. We just need a glass bottle. So we're gonna do that right now. And we're gonna get some time in a bottle. And then we're going to replace our key, I guess. Okay, so what this does is this speeds up things. Pretty much everything in the game. So long as we have time. And it slowly charges time as it goes. But it allows you to accelerate the rate at which blocks tick. It passively collects time, and then you can consume that time. First click requires 30 seconds, second 60, and so forth. The speed at which the block tick doubles with each click. So in effect, the effect lasts 30 seconds. So basically, what we can do is we have a little bit of time. We have Infernium Tier 3. What do you need? You need Supremium. That would require 2 You know what? We're just gonna place you down right here, and then I'm gonna click you. Does this not work? Might not work on Infernium. Let's make sure there's plenty of light. Interesting. Okay, so some things can't be tick accelerated, but I can instantly grow this crop and just get a bunch of this stuff. Hopefully enough to get the Supremium. The other thing we should probably do is look at making... how much did we actually get? We got a stack and a little. Okay, that's fine. So I'm probably going to have to step away while we try to get more things, but this time in a bottle is very useful. Cool. And we got a zombie chunk. Awesome. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to take a little bit of a break. I'm going to figure out if I want to make... there is the end cake we can make. Like I said, it's not bad, but we could also just use end portals. I think we can just go ahead and do this. But the problem is if we place this and we can't pick it up, we can't pick it up. Let's see. We have more. I'm going to grab one, and I'm going to go test something. So let's go to the mining dimension. Let's find some place we don't really care about, and we're going to place this and see what happens. So if we can, like, I don't want to ruin our base, basically. There are things that will probably allow us to make these and, like, break them. Yeah, we cannot break these. They are actual end portal frames. But we should be able to use it and make a portal to the end. The thing is you know, how we want to do that. It's probably going to be in this corner. So like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like something like this. Let's grab our 4. So you know what? Let's just go for it. Why not? I can always hide this if I don't like it. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. We need to break these, and let's just make it a little bit nicer. And we'll put some fancy blocks in the corners and put torches on them. Okay, so let's see if this works to make an end portal. Now, obviously coming back from the end portal, we're going to be going to the spawn of this area. So what are some fancy blocks that would be kind of cool? Let's see, what do we want to use? You know, we might be boring and just do something that's kind of not super fancy, or we could just use glowstone. Let's use glowstone. So let's get 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks of glowstone. Let's grab our chisel. And let's make this into something that looks a little bit nicer. Big tile. Okay. So we can put these in the corners. That'll light everything up nice and bright. Cool. And that looks halfway decent, actually. So now all we need is Eyes of Enders. We just need... Let's get like 10 more. Why not? And then we can hopefully make the end portal. We only technically need 12, but whatever. Alright, so there's the end portal. Awesome. So now we can go to the end. And this quest that we have, I believe it wants us. This is something, an artificial end portal. I don't know exactly what's going on with that, but we'll just collect that stuff when we get to the end. So I am going to take a few moments to get more Infernium, and then when we come back, we'll make the Supremium Armor and head off to the end. So I will be back once we're ready to do that. Alright, so a short time later, I spent a little bit of time in the Nether trying to get some more essence, and well, it turns out I actually had a Supremium ingot sitting upstairs, so we didn't need as much as I thought, but we have all 20 Supremium, which means we can start making the armor. The legs, the helmet, I believe we need to put that there for the chest plate, and then finally the boots. And we can take off our diamond armor and put on Supremium armor. Now we can fly. That's the whole point of everything we just did. Now, before we head off to the end, there's a couple things I want to do. So you might notice I have a mod item filter in my inventory. I decided what to do about the chickens. So what we're going to make is a mechanical crafter, which is going to need a dropper. Nothing too difficult there. And then we're going to go upstairs and do a little bit of work with the chickens. So we have all these eggs, and I don't really know what to do with them. Now, something to kind of note is I did put a new quantum storage unit with just eggs. This is something that we're going to want to do at some point, but not necessarily right this instant. We can put this mechanical crafter here, and I'm going to actually turn that off. I'm going to put insert. I just in the off chance that it tries to do something, we're going to put the insert with a filter upgrade of hatchery whitelisted. And we're going to do this. We're going to say, that's fine, always on. So if we put an egg in there, it gets outputted. And that's it. So we'll just put this on extract, always active. And theoretically, it should, we have 800 eggs. Now the question is, we have a steel egg. Wait, why do we have steel eggs? Oh, because coal and iron are next to each other. Okay, well, we're going to take a bunch of these steel eggs, and we're going to just take them out. So, things might not work perfectly on this, because this is being inserted on green, which we don't actually want. We're going to turn the insert off on this for right now, because what we're going to want to have happen is eventually we're going to turn this on for brown. Insert on brown. So if we insert on brown, you'll see it starts getting all these other chickens. But we don't want that right now. So we're gonna leave that as is, and I can feed this eggs if I so choose. But we have steel chickens we can get going. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And not worry about steel chickens anymore, apparently, because I forgot, since these guys are next to each other, they will crossbreed and they will create new eggs. That's probably why we have so many eggs. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some other ones that we're not supposed to have quite yet. Just kind of glancing. I know for the most part what chickens we have. But that's actually really funny. Okay, so with that taken care of, the egg problem is situated. I'm gonna keep that off. What I might do is, like, for right now, I could honestly turn that on because we have the extra eggs for everybody else. So we have the string chicken eggs, we have the backup. There should be what 2, 4, 5. Yep. We have everything here, so First row full, next two with 3, the next one with 2. Perfect. All of these guys are done. We should have 2 in here. Yeah, as you can see, we have all of these different eggs. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 stacks and 3 stacks. Perfect. So we can turn this on for the time being on insert on brown, and it's just going to produce, it's just going to clear out all of the eggs. And that's the idea. I do not believe that this can ever get anything other than eggs. If it might be able to actually. So we'll play that by ear. Maybe we put a. I think. Let's check. It's hard to see. This has a higher priority. So things are going to go in here first, and I could honestly make that a little bit better by making that priority even higher, and then just make this one a little bit lower. So it's going to try to put things into the manure first, the quantum storage for that, and then into the eggs. But it's not going to put the eggs into the interface. So that should work out just fine. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to turn this off when I breed, because I don't necessarily get all 16, the full stack of eggs when I get the 10-10-10 chicken. That's something I'll have to kind of manually do a little bit more. So with that taken care of, you get a little bit of a glimpse of how long it took me to get everything. Do we have apples? Do we have some apples cooked up? Okay. Let's get a little bit more food. I get through a lot of food because of vein mining. But we're going to head to the end, and we're going to kill the dragon there. But just in case, we're going to leave some stuff behind. We don't need our flux spore. We don't need the Solarium Dagger. We don't need our pickaxe. We don't need the crescent hammer. Everything else, though, we're going to take. And we're going to want to get an end rod and some end stone. We'll get to that stuff later. But just grab a little bit more food. That's good for now. I can always cook up more later. We have plenty of apples. Alright, let's go to the end. So, I don't know if there's any quests other than just making all that stuff. So, yeah, here goes something. We do not have any ranged weaponry. That might seem like a bad idea. And it kind of is. But at the same time, we're just going to kill the dragon with our sword. A little bit of lag. It's okay. What are you? Oh, you're a frienderman. Hi. Right-click with a friender pearl to tame. Alright, there is resident endstone. That's cool stuff. But the dragon is over here. And we're going to kill the dragon as soon as he gets close. She, I guess, lays an egg. Compressed enderman, we have most of the stuff that looks like normal. Lingering potion stuff if we wanted that. But we should be able to go up to the inner dragon if we can catch up with him. And just whack him with our sword and call it a day. So, yeah, that's all I really got to say about all that. So, we are going to want to kill the dragon. Cool. We didn't get anything for that. All the drops are probably going to be over here. But let's go ahead and mine a little bit of endstone. There's some drops. Did we get 6 dragon scales? Cool. And dragon scales from... So tiny progressions dragon scales, which gives you flight and a bunch of other things. We might look into that for other... Ender dragon. There was a quest for the Ender dragon? What? Oh, for Draconic Evolution. Cool. So we'll get a loot chest from that, and then the Chaos Guardian. Okay. So it's going to want us to kill one of those as well, and I don't want to do that anytime soon. Although this sword might actually be really good for that. it's still going to be pretty awful. So, we can tame these guys with the Friender Pearls. I've never messed around with this. Okay. I'm right-clicking. Ow. Okay, we're just going to murder it. And there should be a portal here. Now, we could also just fly. And I think that might be the safer option. But at the same time, it might be a little bit to get there. So, let's head through the portal and see. Okay, well, that was convenient. I was going to say, see where we end up. Well, conveniently at a end city, but this end city does not have a elytra area. So let's go ahead and get the end rod we need. And that should be a quest, right? Let's get away from those guys. So let's go back to the start. Oh, we need literally one more end stone. Okay, we're going to just drop down. We don't take fall damage. And let's go ahead and claim that. Cool. Another quest done. And then what we can do is we can actually go ahead and kill some of these guys. And there is a bunch of shulkers around, but we're going to get shulker shells and various other things. These guys are not too much of concern because we have flight, so their attacks are kind of meaningless. They do look really silly though. The creative flight does counteract the levitation a little bit. It's actually kind of weird. Alright, so we have some shulker shells. That's what we needed for the advanced big item filter. And eventually we'll be able to just duplicate those. But for now, I don't think there's much else we need to do here. So let's just kind of take a look. Something else we should probably do. Let's see if we can do this. So I left it at home. Hey, we got some Supremium from the dragon. There's probably some chests. There's a chest right here. Let's just pop down here. There's actually 2 chests. And is there anything worthwhile? There's some good pants. Shulker. Ooh, that's really good. Anything else in here? Some bees, some iridium shards. I have no idea what that is. And we have another shulker in a soul vial. Cool. Getting those guys in soul vials is actually a really, really good reward. Because we can do stuff with that. We can specifically do things like, oh, I don't know, we could spawn them in, for example. Also, how do we get back? I think we spawned on the other side. Yep, there it is. Okay, so let's go back and finish up this episode. So, with the item filter, we can do a lot more. Let's go home. And then, yeah, there is the dragon egg. We don't need to see the credits. I'm sure you've probably seen those before. I've watched them like once and then never watched them again. Cool. So, let's dump off the things we do not need. We have some Shulker Pearls. Now, these can be used to make interesting things. Monolithus spawning increases the natural mob spawns in a chunk. Oh, cool. And we can use them for pearl blocks, which are also kind of cool. And pearled inner. Okay, so it's just upgrades. Upgrades. for other things. Okay. Not super interested. Infinity boosters, dragon scales. We've seen that stuff. We're going to put the shulker shells mostly away. And let's go ahead and dump that in there. Alright, so we have this box of eternal closure. I'm not sure what this is. But before we do anything, let's pop down here. Let's turn that off. Let's grab our advanced item filter. And let's upgrade it. Now, here is the question I have. It did not remember any of it. Okay, so I will set that up later. Not a big deal. We can also go ahead and throw this stuff in there. And then I can kind of sort through all of the armor and whatnot and get rid of most of it. So we have 2 loot chests that we can open. And we're going to do exactly that. Where else? Okay, we'll do that. So let's open the first loot chest. We have some chance cubes and some compact giant chance cubes. Those are boring. Alright, we also have 62 levels. Let's get rid of those. And we're going to head to the mining dimension. This is where we do things that are potentially unsafe. We're going to do a couple of things that are unsafe. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go grab... we're going to grab whatever's in here, because I don't think we have yet. There is the chest. Okay, so we have an inscriber thing. We'll have to do some stuff with applied energistics at some point just for quests and for completion's sake. But nothing too major right now. And I guess let's go ahead and take this chest. I don't know what this is or how it works. So right-clicking it does nothing. So let's place it. There is a spirit. That is weird. I have no idea. Okay. We're gonna just put this over here and call it a day. So I think that is going to be it for this episode. I might look into see what that was all about. But we're gonna just go ahead and ignore it for now. And the plan is this. Next time we're going to continue working on getting more chickens, more seeds, more everything, and kind of go from there. So that's the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!